So, what really happened in Nigeria's top military circle shocked almost everyone. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu suddenly removed all the service chiefs, and it didn't just end there. Reports say the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, has detained 16 military officers in what many are calling a serious investigation into an alleged coup plot. My people, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because what I'm about to tell you is deep and it's unfolding fast. Now, here's how everything began to play out. For some weeks, tension had been quietly building within the military. There were whispers about certain officers being unhappy with the system, especially over promotions, power struggles, and how things were being run. According to reliable information that surfaced before the shakeup, some officers were being watched closely by the Defense Intelligence Agency after intelligence picked up hints of strange meetings and conversations that didn't sit well with the authorities. Remember to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any updates on this kind of story. The government did not say much at first. Everything was happening quietly behind the scenes until the news broke that 16 military officers had been picked up and detained by the DI in Abuja. Their families reportedly didn't even know where they were taken to. No phone calls, no visits, nothing. People started asking questions. Were they being punished for misconduct, or was there really something big going on? That was when words like alleged coup probe started flying around. The public didn't know what to believe. But one thing was clear. Something serious was happening inside Nigeria's defense system. As all this was going on, President Tinubu suddenly made a big move. He announced that all service chiefs were being removed from office with immediate effect. This included the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, and the Chief of Naval Staff. It was like a full house cleaning. New officers were appointed almost immediately, and the message was loud and clear. Loyalty and trust were being reset from the top. Make sure you like this video and subscribe, because more parts of this gist are coming your way. People started connecting the dots. Could this mass removal be related to the alleged coup talk? Many believe the timing was not a coincidence. Sources claim that before the public announcement, the president had already been briefed about growing internal tension and possible disloyalty among some ranks. The DIA reportedly moved in to neutralize any threat before it became a real problem. The 16 officers, drawn from the Army, Navy, and Air Force, were quietly taken into custody for questioning. At this point, the military tried to calm the situation down. Official spokespeople said there was no coup, that the arrests were only part of an internal investigation into indiscipline and breach of military conduct. But the silence from the detained officers' families and the secrecy around where they were held kept the public guessing. You see, when you mix military intelligence with politics, it's never a small story. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It helps a lot so more people can join this discussion. Now, behind the scenes, more was unfolding. Some insiders hinted that the alleged coup plot may have been exaggerated, but the government didn't want to take any chances. You know how sensitive Nigeria's history is when it comes to military coups. Any sign of disloyalty, even a small one, can cause fear at the very top. Remember, Nigeria has gone through several coups in the past, and every administration since democracy returned has been careful to avoid any repeat. So, Tinubu's move to change all service chiefs may have been both preventive and strategic. By appointing new people, he ensured that every arm of the military had fresh leadership that would owe direct loyalty to his administration. It's a classic political and security move. Cut off any chance of internal sabotage and start afresh. The new appointments came immediately: a new Chief of Defense Staff, a new Chief of Army Staff, a new Chief of Naval Staff, and a new Chief of Air Staff. The Chief of Defense Intelligence was one of the few who remained in his position, which made people wonder if he played a key role in uncovering the alleged plot. Remember to like this video and subscribe. You won't want to miss the next part, because this gist goes even deeper. Now, here's where it becomes really interesting. After the new appointments, Reports said that the detained officers were being interrogated quietly and that a special internal military board was reviewing the case. The defense headquarters later released a statement denying that there was any real coup plot, saying the whole thing was blown out of proportion. But sources close to the DIA insisted that the agency had intercepted sensitive communication between some officers that looked like the early stages of a plan to destabilize the government. Whether that communication truly meant a coup or not is still unclear. But one thing that can't be ignored is that the whole incident exposed deep divisions within the armed forces. Some officers were reportedly angry about how promotions were handled, how postings were done, and how certain people close to power were getting faster recognition. That kind of frustration can easily turn into whispers of rebellion if not managed well. Tinubu's decision to act quickly shows he was not ready to take risks. Please make sure you've liked this video and subscribed so you'll always get my latest breakdowns when I drop new gists like this. As of now, sources say the investigation is still ongoing. The 16 officers are still in custody under strict watch, and their identities are not publicly known for security reasons. The DIA has been very silent on details, which is typical of intelligence operations. They prefer to finish investigations before making anything official. But human rights groups are already asking questions. Why hold officers incommunicado? And why deny their families access? Those are valid concerns that may soon reach the National Assembly if the situation lingers. Meanwhile, the public is split in opinion. Some people say Tinubu did the right thing. If there's even a hint of disloyalty in the military, it must be handled fast. Others say the government might be using the word coup as a cover-up to reshuffle and replace top officers with loyalists. No one outside really knows for sure, but one thing is sure. This shakeup will go down as one of the most dramatic in recent Nigerian military history. Again, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe right now. It helps to keep this channel growing, and make sure you get updates the moment we drop another story like this. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this event also tells us a lot about how fragile trust can be between government and the armed forces. Nigeria is surrounded by West African neighbors that have recently faced coups like Niger and Burkina Faso, and it's natural for leaders here to be extra careful. So any slight rumor of dissatisfaction inside the army can quickly trigger fear of the same pattern. Tinubu's government clearly wants to show that it is in control, that the chain of command is solid, and that no one is above the system. Some observers believe the Defense Intelligence Agency may have acted out of caution rather than concrete proof, but they also agree that it's better to prevent a crisis than to manage one later. If there was indeed some plan, the government acted early enough to stop it. But if there wasn't, then this incident might be a warning sign that morale and trust inside the military are becoming shaky. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribed, my people. I really want to hear your thoughts on this too, so drop your opinion in the comment section. Do you think there was really a coup plan, or was it just political control at work? Now here's something else many people missed. When the DIA detained those 16 officers, it didn't inform their individual service headquarters immediately. That created some confusion at the top levels of the Army, Navy, and Air Force. For some hours, they didn't even know why their men were missing or under arrest. That's part of what caused internal tension. Imagine you're a commander, and you wake up to find out your officers have been taken away by another agency. You'd be unsettled too. Tinubu's move to change all service chiefs shortly after that can be seen as a way to restore coordination. He wanted a unified command where everyone is on the same page. The new appointments came with immediate directives: strengthen internal discipline, monitor chain of command, and make sure loyalty is never compromised. As of now, the story is still developing, but many people are watching closely to see if the detained officers will face court-martial, release, or be retired quietly. These next few weeks will tell us a lot, but one thing that's already clear is that the president has made a strong statement that no form of disloyalty or internal plotting will be tolerated in any arm of the military. So, in summary, this whole story is about prevention, power control, and rebuilding trust. Whether the coup talk was true or not, it's shaken the military system and reminded everyone that Nigeria's democracy is still fragile and must be protected. Please, before you go, don't forget again, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications because the next update on this same matter is going to reveal more details. All right, let's continue the gist and go deeper into what might really be going on behind the scenes. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribed right now, because what's coming next will help you understand the bigger picture very clearly. Now, after President Tinubu made that unexpected move to remove all the service chiefs, sources within the military described the atmosphere as tense but calm. You know that kind of silence that means everybody is watching their back? That's exactly how it was in the defense headquarters in Abuja. Officers were careful with every word, every movement, because they didn't know who was next or what would happen after those 16 detentions. The military is a very structured environment, but when loyalty becomes a question, everything changes overnight. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe because we're just getting deeper. Some officers described the removal as something that had been long expected. According to them, even though General Musa and the other service chiefs had been working hard, there were internal issues, disagreements over operations, resource control, and even intelligence sharing between the Army, Navy, Air Force, and the DI. When coordination breaks down at that level, the government starts worrying. So Tinubu's action might not just be about a coup probe, it could also be about fixing communication gaps that were affecting security operations across the country. Remember, insecurity is still a big challenge in Nigeria. From the north to the south, there are bandit attacks, kidnappings, and insurgency. And if there's any hint that the military is divided, it could give room for chaos. So the president acted fast. He didn't want a situation where fear or confusion at the top would affect soldiers in the field. Think of it like resetting a system. Remove the key players, bring in new ones, and start fresh. Make sure to like this video and subscribe because I want you to keep following this story as it grows. Now, let's talk about those 16 officers again because that's where the mystery lies. From what has been gathered, the Defense Intelligence Agency picked them up quietly. No public announcement, no pictures, nothing. That's not unusual for intelligence work, but it's the total silence around it that raised alarm. Families of the officers started asking questions and some even reached out to the media, but were told nothing. The DIA didn't want to confirm or deny anything at the time. Insiders say these officers were not all from the same branch. Some were from the Army, some from the Navy, and a few from the Air Force. That tells us the investigation might not be about one isolated group, but about a wider network being looked into. Whether it's truly about an attempted coup or about something else like information leaks, only time will tell. But one clear thing is that Tinubu's government saw enough signs to take it seriously. Remember, Nigeria's history with coups is not a small one. The country has seen several takeovers in the past, and most of them started quietly. Small meetings, secret communications, and sudden alliances among officers. That's why no president in Nigeria ever jokes with such intelligence reports. Even a rumor is enough to shake up the entire chain of command. Please don't forget, like this video right now and subscribe if you haven't yet. It really helps the channel grow and keeps you updated when the next part of this gist drops. After the removals, the president immediately appointed new service chiefs. And those names came with strong reputations for discipline and calm leadership. The new Chief of Defense Staff, for example, is known for his firm approach and loyalty. That was not a random choice. It was a signal, the kind that tells everyone this administration wants peace, not politics in uniform. But replacing service chiefs isn't a small move. It means the entire structure under them will change too. Dozens of generals and commanders who were close to the old chiefs may now be moved or retired. That's how the military system works. When a new boss comes in, his own trusted people follow. So in a few months, we'll likely see more silent changes inside the barracks. Many observers say what we're seeing now is a total reorganization of Nigeria's defense structure, disguised under the shadow of a coup probe. But at the same time, no one can deny that something big triggered this action, because no president removes all top officers at once unless there's a very serious reason. Keep liking this video and make sure you're subscribed. It really keeps you connected to this story. Now, one part of this gist that people don't talk about enough is how the international community views what's happening. Other countries are watching too, especially Nigeria's neighbors. You know that in West Africa right now, coups have become common. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger all recently had military takeovers. So when something like this happens in Nigeria, foreign partners take it seriously. Nigeria is the biggest player in West Africa, and any instability in its military can have ripple effects across the region. That's why this move by Tinubu might also be meant to reassure international partners that Nigeria's democracy is safe. By quickly removing the top officers and reshuffling the ranks, he's saying, don't worry, we're in control. It's both a domestic and international message. Power is stable, the military is loyal, and there will be no surprises.